Podcast.
Yeah, the music and the views, the culture.
Sweet.
Let's get into it.
And then don't forget all the lovely things we plan to do today.
Sweet Podcast.
Good day, good afternoon, good evening, my people. It's Mr. Al Pete with the Groove Suite Podcast. Thank y'all so much for tuning in. Greatly appreciate it. We are here with episode 2 of season 3. We have a magnificent interview with Rashon Medlock, man. The brother. He has released the CD, Hymns. Make sure you go to all the socials and stuff and listen to the album and enjoy. He's a fellow Duvalian, Jacksonville, Florida-ish. So we sat down and talked to him, and we have a 2-part interview because I just want to break it up so people can kind of dissect the first part, and then I'm going to drop the second part as well. So this is the first part. And real quick, before we really get into everything, I just want to send my blessings to each and every one during this unfortunate situation with the coronavirus. Hopefully you guys are taking the necessary precautions to make sure that you are straight, make sure that your neighbor is straight, make sure that your groover is straight, your family, friends, etc. So please be mindful of it. I know a lot of people out there are saying, I know a good little bit of people that are like, well, I'm not going to let this bother me, I'm not going to let this stop me. But I do know a handful of people that are extremely mindful of it, and it bothers them, and they want to be very precautious of it. So let's just be respectful of each other, whatever position that you stand in this situation. Please be respectful to everybody, and definitely do the necessaries that we really should be doing before all of this, but hopefully everybody will continue doing this afterwards. And that means just practicing very good hygiene, like washing your hands, and if you're sick, stay home and if you can. I know a lot of people have to work, and a lot of our jobs depend on, day work. So not something that a lot of people are not in those positions to where they can not go to work for a week or so, and it affects their money that they take care of, and they take care of their families and and themselves. So, but nevertheless, if you're sick, stay home. Please cough and sneeze in your elbow or in your hand, and as soon as you do that, please, wash your hands or whatnot. Let's just practice great hygiene that we've been taught for this long time, and just again be mindful of everybody that's around you when it comes to hygiene, and just socially, and when it comes to just the caring aspect of it. So just want to drop that little nugget in on that real quick. So we have the Groove Suite Twitter, Instagram, TheGrooveSuite. Make sure you follow us there. Make sure you follow us on the Facebook group page. Shouts out to everybody that continuously drop content on there about shows, music, videos, etc. on there. So come follow us, send a request, and we'll let you in. No spamming and all that stuff. So that's where we at with the socials. And also on Tuesdays, Tuesday Tunes, Groove Suite Jack's Tuesday Tunes. Shouts out to Tanya Hickson for putting those together and finding the curators of that stuff, of that sort. And we have the music, and we give it to you every Tuesday and just let you know the tunes that we're listening to, and we want to share it with the people. And we have playlists as well on Spotify, Tidal, YouTube, and Apple. So make sure you follow us on our Linktree. Linktree is / the Groove Suite. So that's where we at. So this is the first part of the interview. Hopefully y'all enjoy it. We're going to get into a tune real quick, and then we'll be with the interview. Enjoy.
Groove Suite Podcast.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh. You are my golden lady, with moonlight in your eyes. You fill me with the love supreme, yeah. My ribbon in the sky. You sophisticated lady. You pick me up the stormiest of weather. When I'm in a sentimental mood. Because I think that I love you more than music, more than music. I said I think that I love you more than music, more than music. Yeah, yeah. You're a blue note in a red sky. The music of my mind. You're a kiss to build a dream on. The sunshine of my life. And I know I was made to love ya. From summertime till the autumn leaves. Well, and if I should leave before you, dream a little dream of me. Oh yeah. Because I think that I love you more than music, more than music. I said I think that I love you more than music, more than music. Yeah, yeah. Whoa, I said I think that, whoa, that I love you. Whoa, more than music. Whoa, more than music. Whoa, I said I think that, whoa, that I love you. Whoa, more than music. Whoa, more than music. Because I think that I love you more than music, more than music. I said I think that I love you more than music, more than music. Yeah, yeah.
Groove Sweet, Groove Sweet, Groove Sweet, Groove Sweet, Groove Sweet podcast. Cast.
So the classical.
Classical music, right? So classical music has its own bubble where, like, the people who are rock stars in classical music, in the classical realm, the people who know who they are know who they are. Right? But you had this whole thing where classical music was preserved for upper class. And so because of that, they made it a point to separate it from regular folks. Mm-hmm. And so now here we are 200-300 years later, and it literally is something that nobody really listens to, nobody really purchases, nobody really appreciates. Mm-hmm. But it's because they did so much work to keep it separate. And so now it's like, well, you wanted it to be separate, and now it is. Congratulations, your album sales suck.
Right. Yeah. That's a bad thing, man. I just feel like when it comes to, well, do you feel like the separation, like when they put these identities on certain music, you think that plays a role in the album sales and for it to grow and blossom?
You mean like who should?
So
listen
like,
to it
I mean,
versus-
so like, you know, these days we're listening to a lot of music that's fusion.
Yeah.
I mean, even with your album,
Look.
you know, you have, and that's one of my questions. I guess we can roll into that. But like, one of my questions for you was like, what would you identify your album as? Like, would you say it's a R&B album? Would you say it's a fusion album? Because I get various feels from the album that, you know, what I listen to. Mm-hmm. So do you think that plays a role in like the advancement in that community or with that corporate measures of it, i.e. album sales, that type of thing?
I feel like we are all trying to work to be a part of an industry that only works if it can compartmentalize everything. And so it says, oh, you like trap music? You're only allowed to listen to this. So I'm only going to send you this. Right. So like they do curated playlists. Oh, we found these songs that we think you'd like. But just because you listen to Yachty doesn't mean that you wouldn't listen to Morton Lordson, who is a classical composer.
Yeah.
Who does choral music for anybody who doesn't know. But the sound, like people geek out on beats nowadays, and it's not necessarily like production quality, it's the sounds and how they use them. But there are so many composers who do exactly that. And I feel like we spend too much time trying to separate ourselves into something so other people can vibe with it, rather than just basically doing it buffet style where you just throw it on a plate and it's like, if you like it, keep eating that. And if you don't, you took a bite, put it to the side and go grab another plate. So for me, I would classify myself as a indie soul artist is what I say it is. Or alternative soul. Because yes, I have a soulful kind of vibe to my sound.
For sure.
But at the same time, there are fusions of all kinds of different stuff. I grew up in the 80s, man. Like I was born in 81, so 80s, 90s, that's my vibe. And there was so much great music that just wasn't like I was listening to Michael Jackson on the way here, and I'm like, this is definitely a rock song. I mean, Beat It has like this screaming guitar solo in it.
Oh my God, yeah.
And so what would you classify Michael Jackson as? And not even that I'm trying to put myself on that level or in that space, but we've been listening to fusions of everything for a long time. And then saying that it's black music just because it's a black person doing it. But we invented all of it, so shouldn't we be able to do all of it, and it shouldn't really be a problem?
Yeah, I think that's a problem when it comes to I blame that factor on the consumers. Now, the sales, the marketing, the managerial aspect of it, I guess they have to find a way to like sell it.
Yeah.
So they have to like pinpoint it a little bit.
It's all packaging.
It's their packaging and stuff like that. So I get that factor. I feel like that's still a flaw. But I do feel like at the same time too, a lot of consumers have been given a lot of information and given a lot of like scenarios where, so like one of my favorite groups, Tribe Called Quest.
Okay.
Heavily jazz influenced music on there.
I mean, I think that hip hop is the next iteration or evolution of jazz music.
Right. But you said you used 81 for you, 79 for me. So the same 80s, 90s music that we listen to is fine. Only reason why I knew about jazz is because one, I played saxophone. And thank God that Mr. Bugs, my band director at Reebok, had a jazz band.
Cool guy, by the way.
Yeah. So I had that as a black man in Northwest Jacks to be able to be exposed to jazz. But even before that, my granddad, may his soul rest in peace, he played a lot of jazz music. And he educated me on a lot of the jazz music or whatever. So that was my understanding of like how the fusion part worked. But for somebody that doesn't have that knowledge, I can see how they could just say, oh, it's just strictly hip hop.
Yeah.
But at the same time, too, it's a lot of consumers that have had this education, that has had this experience, and they still be like, it's this. And I'm like, stop, and even when, all right, so even when we like explain music, like, what does your album sound like? Well, what kind of feel does it give? And people give like a kind of general ideal or whatever. But I think people don't take that and then take their own liberty to be like, let me see what this feel is.
Right.
And that's why I blame the consumers a lot when it comes to this factor.
I would agree. But I think it's because the corporations are giving the people what it assumes the people want. But it's just like our phones, right? They store so much information. And so because they do, we do less research.
Yeah,
like,
sure.
I remember I used to know so many phone numbers. Now my phone, call Melinda. I know her phone number and my phone number. That's it.
They be like, what's your mom's phone number?
Like, call mom.
We were just talking about that yesterday. So I get it totally,
Yeah.
man.
So I think because of that, you have it's not like a curated situation where it's like, okay, this is something that might be in the ballpark. Tell me if you like it or not. It's more of a thing of, no, we read all of your text messages and all of your emails, and we listened to everything that you played, and so you like this song, and you like this one, but you don't like this one. But we're always gonna feed you this stuff, and so I think it's number one. They need to keep spins happening. They need to keep you on the site, so they keep feeding you the same thing. But unfortunately, I feel like we're in a time period where experimentation and self-discovery is one of those things that people don't spend a lot of time doing. And I mean, I went to school for music, so I was in a situation where it wasn't just, oh, listen to this classical music, da da da. It was like I started out, like I was in choir since I was a little kid. And my stepdad, who is, honestly, he's the person who I would credit with even showing me like jazz music and just forcing me to listen to it. And I mean, I'm a little kid, Tupac is popping and then it's like, no, we're going to listen to this thing, begrudgingly. But then I started to vibe with it and I started to dig it. And then I started to study music, which made me appreciate it more. But because I have that understanding, it's easy for me to like draw the lines that connect the different styles and the different, all of that. Because I can't stand it when the thing about being a classically trained musician and walking into academia is people always like want to corner me and then have a conversation with me about how this is music versus this not being music. And 9 times out of 10 is somebody hating on rap music. And then I'm like, well, if jazz music's primary feature is improvisation and freestyling is one of the main tenets of rap music, I don't see how those two are unrelated. Not to mention that when rap music started to become a thing, a good portion of the samples were drawn from jazz albums. So it's like, how do you not see the relationship?
And that's
I shut a lot of people up.
But that's another reason, another great point as to why I blame the consumers. Because in my mind, I'm like, well, especially for the people that know, I want to. You made a great point by saying, people don't take time to experiment and to understand and like study these other aspects of it, or just to let your mind open up a little bit. Because I know for me as a musician, a lot of thoughts that I've had have just like popped up out of the blue. Like I just be chilling and I just let my mind kind of like be free or whatever, and then like a line will come in my mind and I'm like, oh, this is what he was talking about, or oh, this drum riff comes from this. You know what I'm saying? Like that's why it's so easy for me to kind of pinpoint this whole when it comes to samples and stuff like that, and kind of understand like the direction that the producer or even the rapper or singer pulls from, because they're pulling from that old source. Right. So it's like, if we have the liberty to do it, and I don't think, I might be going a long shot by saying this, but if we can do it as creatives or whatnot, and it comes to us easily, I feel like the consumers have the same brain mentality for it to do the same thing.
Yeah. So I agree with you, but I think that being creative and being in an experimental space it's scary because it's outside of your comfort zone.
Yeah.
But because of that, it's a muscle, and if you don't exercise the muscle, it atrophies. And so I think a lot of times, because you're in a society where it's like, oh, you like chicken nuggets? I'm gonna give you chicken nuggets every day. Nobody's ever asking you what steak feels like because they know you like chicken nuggets. So I keep on making food references.
Nah, it's great.
Be like, obviously he's a fat guy.
No, but I mean that's a great example. I mean, and I agree with what you're saying, but so let's level the grounds from a creative to a general person.
Right.
After a while, the chicken nuggets is like played.
Yeah.
After a while, like sometimes you're forced, or sometimes you just that bub comes in your head to be like, let me go try something else out. Or you round somebody that be like, man, I just had like the best filet mignon.
Right.
And they be like, what is filet mignon? Oh, that's a part of a steak. And then they like,
gotta try that.
I gotta try
Yeah.
it. And, you know what I'm saying? So, but I get what you're saying totally. I love this back and forth that we're having, man. It's great. It is a great back and forth.
Yeah.
So, real quick. So we I haven't even introduced my mans. We just rolled into the conversation, man. And I think this is the beauty of having intellectual interviews like this. You know what I'm saying? These are the interviews and these are the conversations that I like to have. And we've, you know, in our passings, we've had sometimes when we've had a conversation or two. So it's great to have my brother in the house with me, man. So real quick story. He his last name is his last name, but his last name is my family's last name. And we joke about it all the time. We like, yeah, we gotta find this family tree or whatever. So and it was for a couple times we got around each other. We always was like, do you know so you know what I'm saying? And I was like, I don't know. And I was like, I need to go ask my mom or ask my aunt, our uncle or whatever. But I do want to have that part where we can do that, man. Just be like, let's go down the family tree and see.
Oh, definitely.
And I mean, and I wouldn't be surprised if we were, but nevertheless, musically and just naturally, we are like cool guys and cool brothers of each other, and we respect totally everything that be going on. So, without further ado, to the groovers in the house, I have Rashon in here, man. Rashon Medlock.
What's happening?
Medlock, man. That's a powerful name, man. I hold that name so true. It's my mom's side of the family, and it's a powerful name, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. So how you feeling, brother?
I'm feeling really good, actually.
Good, man.
Mm-hmm.
Really good.
Yeah, it's been a good couple of weeks. You know, we had the release party like a week or so ago, and I was surprised at how well attended it was. Because as we said earlier, like my music is a fusion of a lot of stuff, so I'm used to like performing, and depending on what the crowd is, like some people will be like, "Oh, that's different, but that's cool," and other people will be like, you know,
yeah.
So I never really know what the vibe is gonna be, and I don't know. I guess I'm pleasantly surprised and grateful with the fact that it's being embraced. Because I didn't, you know, you sit in a bubble and you write. You don't know what's gonna happen, and then it's like, is this okay?
Yeah, that's that artist thing, man. I tell people all the time, I'm going back to the consumers. I feel like I'm shooting a lot of shots to the consumers right now. I love y'all, man, but you know, as artists, we have to like kind of teach y'all, you know, kind of educate y'all. That's our job to do. I will say that, but after a while, it's like, you know, we're teaching you guys to like forward think. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but I think so. And I know we're still in the introductory thing, but
nah, go ahead.
I gotta say this because I'll forget.
Go ahead.
But I think it's a part of it is also convenience. So like when we were doing like the chicken nugget, the filet mignon reference, right? It's so much easier to go grab a bag of any Tizers and just dump them on the tray, put them in the oven, get them out. Filet mignon, you gotta like cook it. You know what I mean? And so there's that time.
Totally agree.
And so I think it's just a thing of having the time, because in America we overschedule the bejesus out of ourselves and we let our jobs do it to us and all that stuff. Yeah. But there's that. It's a society with a lot of moving parts. So I think to want for somebody to be able to really, really appreciate something at the highest level, I think takes a lot more mental space, time, and energy than just anybody really has right now.
You're right.
And
respect
it's not, you know, that's not saying that you should just be lazy and it's like, oh, well, you do whatever. But I think because we focus in so deep on that, like our view is always microscopic. Yeah, sure. But we're talking to people who have telescopes. So it's like trying to like, because they see what we see, but just not in as great a detail. So
I agree. Great analogy.
And it wasn't a food one either. Look at that.
Yeah, I mean, but no, I thought about when you mentioned the whole filet mignon, like that's not something you're just gonna throw in the oven and like pull it out. Like you have to like really like tend to it. Like you, it's the whole the pre-production of filet mignon takes time. Well, the actual cooking actually takes shorter than, you know, not shorter, but I mean it takes you know, if you do it correctly, but you still have to tend to it way more than you have
Yeah.
to tend to like nuggets. You just drop them in and pull them out.
And what if you grill it? Like, I'm a barbecue person.
I'm a griller too.
Look,
yeah.
I don't even use like charcoal. I gotta find wood and cut it. Like, it's a 2-hour process before I put anything on the grill.
Exactly.
You know.
Yeah. And
But
then
that's how good music is, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's not just a conversation. Like, there's some of these songs that we recorded and it was like, we need to redo it.
Yeah.
And it's not about the skill of the player, and it's not about like understanding the software, but like when you're doing everything where it's like live, it's got to have that live energy to it, you know?
Yeah.
So like I can play stuff in note for note sometimes and I'll be like, that's too mechanical. I need to do it again, you know? So
Yeah.
everything I think takes a lot of time, and like, you know, people are always talking about the olden days in terms of, everything was moved so slow and did this, and it's like, well, yeah, but look at how perfect the music was. They didn't have auto-tune. You know how many different like emulators there are to emulate Jimi Hendrix's sound?
Mm-hmm.
And all he had was his guitar.
All he had was
You know what I
guitar.
mean?
Yeah.
It's-
Wow. Yeah. Great stuff. So this had a release, album release.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't want to butcher the name. It says Hymns.
Right.
So it's capital H, lowercase I, capital M, lowercase S.
Yeah.
Explain that.
All right.
And to give you guys a visual, which you'll see the picture, it's a piano and it's a book and it says Hymns. So I'm thinking, you know, hymns, HYM, you know.
Right.
Yeah.
So no, it is a play on that.
Okay.
And actually, like, I took that photo. But
And it's a guitar on the side too.
yeah, that's also my guitar. So the piano that it's sitting on is a pretty special piano. Actually, it was a gift to me by a fraternity brother, Robert Herberger.
Okay.
And his mom taught him to play piano. She did piano lessons and stuff on this piano. And so they ended up moving to Nashville, and they were like, we want you to take care of this piano.
Nice.
And so we lived in a tiny house, but we jammed that sucker in there. And I mean, it's been really special because I've had the privilege of having people that like see that I'm serious and they see the passion and they're like, here, you could use this. And so I'm glad that I was able to get that in there. But anyway, so the hymns, right? So this album for me is kind of like an introduction of sorts. You know, I mean, we start off with my name is Ra, like this is who I am now, which that's a whole other funny story. But the whole thing basically is like introducing you to the different facets and thought processes that I go through.
Okay.
But I, just like everybody else, has issues. And so some of this stuff is me working through things or me just, you know, being demonstrative about something. And so it is an acronym. It could stand for anything, but it's healing myself. And so big H, little I, healing, the H and the I, and then MS, myself.
Okay. Nice.
Yeah.
See, that's that creativeness. I love it. Especially when I saw it, I was like, hymns. I was like, hymns. And then I saw the piano. That was a good story about the piano part of it. So, all right. So, guitar.
Mm-hmm.
You do play that.
Yes.
Electric, acoustic. I'm not sure if I know the difference. I mean, I know the difference, but does it matter if you've been playing it?
So.
Well, I'll say from. Okay, so for me, I play alto sax.
Mm-hmm.
I play alto. My main instrument I play is alto saxophone. I know how to play the tenor sax, but it's different keys.
Right.
Is it that formality when it comes to acoustic and electric?
Not necessarily.
Okay.
Because when you're talking about the different saxophones, they have different transpositions for everything, and so they're pitched in different keys.
Yeah.
Right. Well, guitar is. I mean, there's different tuning systems you can use, but if you do standard tuning, then they all have the same EADGBE,
Okay,
right?
gotcha.
For the strings.
Yeah.
The acronym I use is Eddie 8 Dynamite. Goodbye, Eddie. I didn't make that up. But look, my students always remember it.
They remember it?
Yeah.
Okay.
But so the acoustic has heavier strings, so it's a little harder to play. And so I usually recommend that folks start with an acoustic, because if you get to the point where you can move around well on an acoustic, then an electric will be easier because the strings are smaller. Mm-hmm. But the thing about the electric guitar is that it basically is it takes away some of the difficulty that you would have, like the action on electric. If you strum a string, it can just ring forever. You have to like literally stop it and start it. And I'm not like the greatest guitar player on planet Earth. I ain't bad, but solid body versus a hollow body. So the thing about an electric is that it requires amplification, where an acoustic doesn't necessarily. And then they have the hybrid, the electric acoustic, that's what I play. And so you can plug it up and play in a stadium, or you don't have to, and you can just.
And it still has that acoustic sound to it.
Right. Gotcha. The other thing is that if you have an electric guitar, they're built and they have a specific timbre, and then like when you like the sound of it, and then when you plug it into different amps, you can kind of morph that. And so I think while you have the ability to do different like EQs and stuff with an acoustic, I think you have more options with an electric, because you can plug it into anything and it automatically will sound different. Yeah.
Okay. And you're playing the guitar on all your music, correct?
Most of it, it's either me or it's Chris. Okay. So I have a lead guitarist. His name is Chris Torn. Okay. And Chris is a monster. Okay. And so either I'm playing it or he is.
So you was able to step back and actually be an artist.
Oh man, look,
how did that feel?
So terrifying at first, right? Because it's like, okay, I know what I want this thing to sound like. Mm-hmm. So you get to this part where it's like, I can either get to the point where I can play this myself, or I can find somebody who can and kind of direct them to it. And Chris and Nehemiah Tucker is a bass player. So those are like my bandmates. Okay. And I mean, I handle basically all of the day-to-day Rashon Medlock, whatever stuff, but they're the people that play primarily on everything with me. Okay. And so, so first of all, it's good to be able to have an idea or a ballpark for where I want it to be, but then to have somebody like a Chris or Tucker who can basically like be in that area, and they may not hit all the same points that I would, but it still does everything it needs to do. And so being able to step back and kind of direct other people through it means that my own shortcomings on the instrument don't hold back the quality of the sound. So I was really appreciative to have like a very good guitarist and a very good bass player. And even I had a guy named John Pizant. He did some of the horn arrangements on like 2 of the songs. Okay. And so it's great to be in a situation and in a position where I can get these people to come through and work, but then also being able to hire out whatever. Because, I mean, you get to a point where it's like, I want this to be the best that I can possibly make it. And I think when you're really, really trying to make something amazing, you have to look at your own shortcomings and be like, okay, I need to step out of the way and let somebody else help me with this thing or help me with that thing. And I mean, ego, you deal with that a lot when it's like, well, I can do it. It's like, yeah, but this dude, you've been playing for 10, you've been playing for a lot longer. And it's like, I can notate it, I can play it, I can do whatever on a piano, or I could sing it, but it's one thing to be able to be like, I want something that sounds like this. Mm-hmm. And it's another thing to be like, well, do what you do, but at this one part, do this one thing, but everything else is you. Right. And so it made it easier, but I think it also gave us the ability to like reach, to dig in more, Mm-hmm. And so because
you got that space that mental space and that artistic space to be able to dig deeper. Right. And 9 times out of 10, like I said, for me, referencing back what I stated before, most of the time when I get my inspiration, I'm just kind of chilling, and I don't even think about, I'm just going to pull back from this for a minute, just so I can get the the room to get deep.
Right.
I'm just kind of sitting there, and while you're creating and you're being around creators that understand the different components and the parts that they are, it opens you up, and then sometimes you just fall deep into it and don't even know that you even, and like, so, you know, I'm sure you'd have been in sessions and somebody done hit a note or a riff and you like, oh, what was that?
Yeah.
Keep that.
Yeah.
Like,
Look,
I'm glad we was recording it, you know?
That's funny you mentioned that, because there was a beat that I was playing around with yesterday. I put up like a picture or a video on Instagram, and it was this thing that it started out with an outtake. So Chris was playing something, and he did this like one thing, and I'm doing all the edits, and I'm going through, and I heard it, and I cut it, and I was like, I pulled it aside, and I saved it as make a beat with this later. That's how so when I pulled it into the DAW, and I started playing around in Studio One, I'm like, okay, let's see what we can do. So yeah, always.
Nice.
But the beauty of that, of having those people, is that it's like, you know, like you're saying, being in a room with other creatives. Like, it may be something where it's like, I'm not even thinking about that direction, because while it would be cool to go over there, but I don't really know how to get there. But this dude knows the way. So I could just like let you drive. So with Chris and with Nehemiah, they're super creative people. And I could be like, just do what you do. And then I'll either edit it to make it what I want it to be. But a lot of times, like the one is the like country-esque kind of song, right? I told Tucker, he played bass on, and I'm like, I want you to play joy. And to me, it's like if you listen to the bass line, and that's why I was so excited to like do a whole instrumental thing, because like we did a lot of like little nuancy kind of things just in there. So it's like
that's book 2, right?
Yeah, it's book 2.
Book 2. So I was like, oh, okay, it's two versions. But then when I got to it, it said instrumentals, and I was like, oh man, that's awesome. So you just kind of just listen to the music, and you know, I know for me it hits me differently when the words are separated. Yeah, if that makes sense. Yeah, I like those sounds, especially when it's instrumentation. You know, when it's instrumentation, it just hits me a little differently. It's more soulful. It's more not taking it away from any DAW or any production, you know, beat wise. But like when it's just instruments playing, it just, I don't know, I could just relate to it a lot more.
Yeah. I like to try to write the music so that it emphasizes the words, but I feel like the emotions can still be there, and in some cases be greater, just because it's a sound and it's not restricted by a word.
I just like different versions of it. Having the words on it definitely is a great component to an overall project. But when you pull something like that, you know, to make a book 2 and for you to have just the instrumentals and just that sound, it's just like, yeah. And I feel like, I mean, you know, I'm old, y'all, but I'm young. I'm 40, man. So sometimes I just like to let the music just hit me, like when I'm riding around. And I used to always like kind of joke off a little bit that my granddaddy used to listen to like easy listening music. Right. But I love easy listening music now. I love it. Like my version of it would be, I guess, like the lo-fi. Yeah. Lo-fi chill hop, hip hop or whatever. I can cut that on, and I could actually study and actually like get work done and just be in kind of like my thoughts. And then when you put words to it, it just brings another type of component to it that makes it special. Yeah. Yeah. So real quick, we're going to take a quick break, but I want to play one of your songs.
All right.
When we come back, we'll talk about the words, because I have questions about the words, like some of the words in the song. So what song would you like for us to play?
Oh, man. Not on the spot or anything.
Yeah, on the spot. Yes, sir.
Let's see. Could we start with let's start with Find the Light.
Find the Light. All right, cool. Find the Light. We finna play it now, y'all. So listen to it, enjoy it. Rashon Medlock, the Groove Suite podcast. We'll be right back.
Groove Suite, Groove Suite, Groove Suite, Groove Suite, Groove Suite podcast.
Oh yeah, hey, oh yeah. everything I love. I place my faith in a living God above. And while I don't pretend to understand, there are a few things I can comprehend. I don't claim to know everything, but I know what I know, and I know what I've seen. If you know what I mean, if you know what I mean. And I don't have some secret to the universe, but live in love and don't compare to see which side is worse. And I don't have some place to send you after life, but be yourself and always strive to find the light. Find the light, find the light, oh, find the light, find the light, oh, find the light, say find the light. I was blessed by a drunken man and lied to by a preacher man. Then I was robbed by an honest man and made peace with the Muslim. And I don't pretend to know what all this means, but I know that he lives and I know that he sees, and I know he's in me. I said I know he's in me. Yeah. Oh, 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 oh. And I don't have some secret to the universe, but live in love and don't compare to see which side is worse. And I don't have some place to send you after life, but be yourself and always strive to find the light. Oh, find the light, find the light, oh, find the light, oh, find the light, oh, find the light, say find the light, oh, find the light, oh, find the light, oh, find the light, find the light, oh, find the light.
The Groove Suite Podcast. We are bike. BYKE. Y'all already know. BYKE for the Duval folks. Back for my people in the world. BYKE. Yes, sir. So we're here with Rashon Medlock. We are talking about just some of everything, man. But we want to we're honoring him because he had a album release, Hymns. Congratulations. I don't think
Appreciate
I said that on the first part, but definitely congratulations. It's major when you release an album, man. Like, it's major to go through that whole process. I'm not a stranger to it. I've done albums, a lot of albums, so I understand when you get to that end of the road, and and blessings on even now, you know, because it's work after the release party.
I'm telling people that this is not the finish line. This is the starting line.
Yeah, this is the whole hooray. We finna send you out and you know, and go from there. So, all right. So, one of my favorite joints is that I really like was More Than Music.
Okay.
So on the chorus, you said you said you think you love them, which I need to know who the them is. Love them more than music, but it sounds like you do. Respectfully.
Oh yeah, no, that's
respectfully.
That's Melinda.
Shouts out to Melinda.
That's the wife.
Yeah, my sister.
Yeah, she's an amazing lady. So we were having a conversation via text one day. She had to correct me because that's what wives do. Shots fired.
Yeah.
No,
get it right.
Right. No, we're having a conversation, and like, we are genuinely like, we've been married for 12 years at this point. Like, we celebrated our 12th wedding anniversary on March 3rd.
Oh, nice.
And so that was tying everything in, artistry, right? So I wanted to do the album release on March 3rd, which is our anniversary, and the video is for More Than Music, and it's a dinner party that ends up being an anniversary party, so it's like a surprise thing. Mm-hmm. You have to go watch it to see what the surprise is.
Yeah, I need to peep that for sure.
But yeah, so I coordinated all of that because it was like, and I wrote the song a while ago, and a while ago being like 2 years, but you know, that whole process of getting to the point where you have the sound and everything together, and you know, you can actually package it so that it looks like something. Takes some time, but yeah. I literally was texting her and I was like, I think I love you more than music. I gotta go. And I just artist mode right there. And she was, so in the middle of I was like, yes, talk later. I'll see you when you get home from work. It's cool.
I gotta go. Bye. We'll talk later. Yeah. God, I know those moments. Yeah. That was good, man. I figured it was about, Melinda, but just wanted to ask or whatever. And I just thought it was cool when I heard it the second time I heard it, which is like last week, when I heard the thinking part, I was like, nah. Just being funny, just being artistically funny. I was like, yeah, you do. And it's cool to have that. So do you think that, because I know, I'm going into my relationship talk. A lot of people feel like LP is against relationships, and I'm not. I just think people waste a lot of time thinking about the things that are not realistic.
Yeah.
So it's possible to exist, to love someone more than like what you love. It's safe to say that, correct?
Yeah, but I think it's one of those things where you have to be able to separate, like, this is the thing that I love to do versus the person that I, respectively do it for or do it about. Because, like, so there's like 3 songs that I've written about her. And then there's some other songs I haven't, but they're also love songs. So people are like, oh, is that about Melinda too? And I'm like, sure. But like there was a song on my first album called Settle For Me. And so that was a song that I wrote about her, and it was like, oh, okay, well, that's gonna be our wedding song. And then somebody was like, hey, can you play that at my wedding? So I had to play like at 2 or 3 other weddings, like this song that I wrote for her. And then it's like, she's like, well, now you gotta write me a new song. Okay, that's super easy. Let me just get right on that.
Right.
And then I had another one of those moments one morning. We were getting up for work, and I was like, oh, snap. I think so another song, it's called K, and that's Melinda's middle name. And so those were written about her before more than music. So I don't know. She's a muse, but I think it's like in terms of being a muse, I think it's really more so of like fostering and cultivating a relationship with the creative, so much so that you end up being a topic of discussion. So is it possible? I think it depends on your ability and capacity to love, but also how you receive it. Because I think, some of us are creatives, but we're like, I can only write when I'm angry, or I can only, and it takes a lot actually to stretch outside of only being able to be creative when you're in a certain mood. Mm-hmm. But I think once you mature enough to be able to find the ability to do it even when you're not in that mood, or to celebrate different moods, then I think then it kind of gives you the ability to kind of showcase your growth, but also to show, because you like, if somebody's always writing political stuff, they're a musician, but their focus is politics, So it's like using what you have to point to what you are thinking about. If that makes any sense.
It makes perfect sense. Personally and just creative wise, it definitely makes sense. I know for me, I'm learning that. I think I've learned that after my son went to, when he went off to school, and he was around me, and the whole growing stages. Mm-hmm. And I just didn't know how to. I know how to articulate it, but I didn't break it down to like how you broke it down. Like I understand how you broke it down just a few minutes ago, because I'm doing that as we speak now versus when I was doing it before. Yeah, because I put a limitation on it. I was always putting like, okay, well, I love what I'm doing, but at the same time too, I'm able to get paid. Oh, well, I'm getting this money, so this money is taking care of you. So that's my, that's my form of love. Not saying that was the only love. Of course, I had another love, another type of love that I had for my son or my friends and family. Of course. But the way that it was translated didn't come out the way that you explained it, and for me to understand it how it is. So I totally get it.
Yeah.
Totally get it.
Well,
it's tough, man. It's especially for like musicians. I feel like, I mean, I went through the whole patch. That's why I asked that question. Like, I was just like, I think a lot of women, I mean, men as well, feel like it sucks that this person loves this thing more than they love me. Or I've been told in past relationships that, you know, you love something that don't even exist. And like, it's so many.
I'm making a very inquisitive face right now.
He is. And that explains why we're not together.
Okay. So going on that, and that's a very interesting point, especially talking about relationships, because as creatives, it's always like, I'm gonna do this thing, and nobody else can see it but you. So it's hard to get that buy-in at first.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And so, like with Melinda, we had a conversation before we got super serious, and I was like, I want to be a professional musician in whatever capacity, whatever that means going forward. And I don't know what it's going to entail. I know it's going to be crazy. It's going to have its ups and downs, but I'm moving in that direction. And so you can come with, and that would be awesome. But if this is not going to be something that you're going to be comfortable with, I think that we should part ways now. And I mean, I was honest about it, but that's the one thing that I can say is great about our relationship is we are like brutally honest with each other. And you don't have to be condescending or mean to be honest. Mm-hmm. And some people, I've witnessed the relationships where it's like, well, I'm just being honest, and it's like, well, you're being kind of an asshole.
Yeah, you're being very mean.
Yeah. And so she was like, no, I want to hang out. And so, I mean, and everything has just been evolving, you know, within that. So like, I didn't know what that would necessarily entail or what it would mean or what it would look like. But, you know, as things have evolved and changed into what they are, we kind of just figure out what our new normal is at that stage, and then we just go from there. Mm-hmm. So
that's the beauty of a relationship, though, man. Like, I mean, even if outside of music, I feel like there's a lot of things that people go through in life that we don't see what's at the end of the road. Right. And it's like for that particular situation to tell me that I love them, I love that more than I love them, that's something that's not, you know, tangible. It really stung, and it brought a different outlook on it. I was just like, oh man, this is definitely the door opening up for me to like walk out.
That's the most selfish thing you could ever say.
I know, that's crazy, but man, it's a lot of people out in this world that feel that way.
Well, yeah, but it's like, if this is the thing that makes you feel like normal, and you're saying I can't do the thing that makes me feel normal because it's taking too much time away from you, well, but what are we doing that you can't be a part of this thing? Like,
why wouldn't you want somebody to be normal? Like, why wouldn't you want your spouse to be normal? Like, hypothetical situation. Two people could be in a house. You can have all the time, all the time. Mm-hmm. Like, you might not necessarily have to be around them. They could be in the same house with you. They might be in one room. You might be in another room. And that one person is like focusing on their career, their goals, and studying and that stuff. As long as the communication is there and the reassurance is there, right, it shouldn't take you away from it, especially when you knowing that person is coming out of that room feeling more powerful, feeling more confident, to be able to put the time and the efforts to you and all that, and to be functionable. With a lot of the stuff going on, especially what's going on now, like people are like completely freaking out. So to have a sound person around you that's able to say, hey, I'm just going to take like an hour or two and go read a magazine, you know, a music magazine or entrepreneurship or something like that, and be able to come back in and be like, you know what, babe, I like really, really love you, and be able to separate those things. But that energy is giving you, you know what I'm saying, that energy that you're getting from studying your craft and being in your craft is giving you the energy for you to be. Yeah. Does that make sense?
No, it makes total sense. But it's the question of, A, what are you passionate about? Have you found your passion? Well, that's A and B. And then C, well, separate A and B, because in terms of the significant other, do they have something they're passionate about, and are they trying to support and also looking for support? So if you found a thing and you're doing a thing and you're super passionate about it, but this person has no thing, then all of a sudden it's like, well, how come nobody's paying all this attention to me? And it's like, go find something to do.
Right. Especially when the person that's passionate is helping you. Right. Helping the other person try to find that passion. Yeah. So like you're tackling your passion and then trying to find, your significant other, their passion. Like you're like, creators is like, that's why creators I feel like are great when it comes to relationships. Because they're able to break the things down like crazy. Okay, well, babe, you like to do hair a lot. Start off with just doing a couple people hair real quick. And then while in the process, something else will come up. You might get into the natural aspect of it. You might get into the color. You might get into the fashion part of it. Like let's explore these things. But if you're not exploring it and you're not letting the energy that your significant other is getting to put on you, it just doesn't manifest into like a whole type of thing.
Right. But that's because you're doing your thing that you're passionate about, and that is giving you energy. But then where do you push all that energy to? And if you're pushing it to that significant other and it's just awesome, staying here and bask in my sunlight rays or whatever, then it's going nowhere. Like you should be using that to create something. If that's what you want to do. So like our relationship, Melinda is an amazing photographer. Okay. And the very first time I saw like her pictures, it was in like this photo album. We still have it. And it has this picture of this little girl on the front cover. And I'm thinking, you know how like you get a photo album or you get a picture frame or whatever, and it's got the picture of the happy white people in it or whatever. So I'm like, oh, so you took all the pictures. Why did you leave this one in the front if all these are your pictures? And she's like, what are you talking about? And I was like, well, this picture in the front. She was like, I took that. I was like, what? We got to get you a camera tomorrow. And so I've made it a point to make sure that she has cameras, and I started her because she, just like all of us, you start out and it's like, well, what if I'm not good enough? What if I this? Yeah. And I'm like, babe, I'm terrified of this, and it is something I deal with every single day. Yeah. That's normal. But just because you're scared doesn't mean you freeze. You do it even though you're terrified. And so she's in that process of, building up a client list and a following, and she's had a bunch of different opportunities that it's like, hey, if we're going to go to this place, you should take pictures at this place. And then so she's MKM Photo and Design for anybody that's interested. It's on Instagram, Facebook, whatever.
Plug it.
But she does landscape photos and family portraits. And so anyway, she's gotten to a point where she's getting better and better and slowly starting to work into the business acumen and marketing part of it, which that's natural, that's a natural succession. But I think that you have to be around people who are understanding of what it takes to kind of create that process, but also patient enough to allow it to develop, because you're in a situation where you don't know what all the moving parts are.
Yeah, for sure.
And the thing is, if you're in a relationship with somebody who's not a creative but also not supportive, then I think that's always going to be hard.
Yeah.
And we'll travel, right? And we'll go to like conferences. We've done a bunch of other stuff. She'll make her take the camera. She'll take pictures. But we were at the East Coast Music Conference last year, right? Okay. So they do it in Virginia. This year it's June 4th through the 7th. Shout out to East Coast Music Conference. I don't know if they're going to pick me to play again, but that would be cool if they did.
Yeah. Blessings, man, on that if they do. Yeah.
Appreciate it. I think we find out next week. Anyway, So we're up there, and then one of the groups that's up there, this group, I'm 38, so everybody's a kid to me. So one of the players from this band called the Foxfires, they're from upstate New York. And they made it a point to find her. She told me about this later, but they found her like while I was performing, and it was like, I appreciate how supportive you are of him doing this thing. And the thing is, like, she gets a whole lot of love because she's present in those places. Because there's a lot of people who have significant others who are just like, I don't get it. I'm not going. I'm staying home. This is weird. And it's like, you don't have to go to everything to be supportive. But at the same time, if if somebody is with someone who isn't supportive, then that automatically makes that person's journey that much harder.
Oh yeah, for sure. Cause there's so many ways to support. Like,
Yeah,
so many ways. There's so many aspects. I mean, it goes from people actually being at your events to people praying for you.
mm-hmm.
I mean, it goes from those variations. But when you don't have none of that coming from your significant other, your friends, family, it definitely makes it harder.
No, it really
makes
does.
it makes the room darker.
Mm-hmm. And it's harder to find resources and everything else. I mean, and so no, she's been a huge blessing, and it's been uphill, but we've trudged it out together. And just like she's super supportive of me, I'm the same way. Because if without that reciprocity, what is there? I'm just out here peacocking. I don't really do that well. So.
Good, man. I enjoyed the breakdown of the more than music thing. I mean, every time I see something in regards to saying more than music, I think I'm like, I mean, one of my examples is like Rick Ross. Rick Ross, his album was called Deeper Than Rap. But the content in his album, it was definitely, you know what I'm saying, it was deeper than the surface of, hip hop or rap or whatever. Right. And it showed a different variation of him. Because most people think, okay, he's trapping, that type of thing. But it showed a different levels of him, as far as love and just being an entrepreneur and just being, an actual person. Yeah. And it showed different, it showed those things. And so when I see anything saying more than music, deeper than this, that, and the third, I always look for the outside components that make up the one component. Right. And that's why I just when I listen to, that is my favorite song on the album, and
Word.
And for personal reasons, because I told you, like, I'm going through those type of transitions when it comes to my friends and family and stuff like that, and kind of understanding a little bit more about that, and learning how to apply that lesson to them.
So I think it's important to be able to kind of have different stuff to write about, because it's like, okay, we can all write about the one thing that we all know, but all of us are multifaceted human beings. So to restrict yourself to only talking about one part of what is your actual life, I mean, that's not really showing the full picture, So, I mean, I like where hip hop is now, and not a lot of people appreciate that people can talk about mental health or growing up or being an adult and actually doing this like we do, but I think that that's really important because it shows that we are actually human beings and not just caricatures. That I'm an entertainer, but really this is catharsis, and I'm writing this in the hopes that if you listen, it will also help you with your healing process. Yeah. And so I think that it's one thing to be the person or to make music where, oh, this is hot in the club and it's hot in the club all the time. And that's super cool. But we don't live in the club.
We don't.
So that music is only really viable for that 3 or 4 hours that you spend there. But what are you playing? What are you thinking about when you're going to work every day, taking your kids to school or to practice or whatever, when you're at work, when you're in meetings? Like, what is it that's keeping you sane or comfortable? Because it can't always be about popping bottles.
You can't. I get tired of popping bottles.
I mean,
that shit costs too much.
Yeah.
It definitely costs entirely too much.
And the most expensive stuff is watered down.
Exactly.
It's cheaper to drink at home.
Exactly.
Groove Suite podcast.
The Groove Suite podcast. Thank y'all so much for listening to this first part. Hopefully you enjoyed. Make sure you follow Rashon Medlock for all his handles and get his album and listen to it and share it. We will be back with part 2. Stick around, y'all. The Groove Suite podcast. Thank you so much. The Groove Suite podcast has been brought to you by Mr. Penis's Neighborhood and the Groove Suite, powered by 92.7 The Beat and Hip Hop and Hookah. Make sure you stay in tune with us on our socials, on Instagram and Twitter at The Groove Suite, and on Facebook, The Groove Suite Podcast. If you want to email us some music, tell us that you like us, email us at groovesweetjacks@gmail.com. New things, new things, new things. New vibe, new soul, all that. Thank you to everybody who supports us, rock with us, and vibe with us. The Groove Suite.